Fuck have you been tucking your tail for days when bitches is trying to fight you? Now your biggest competition leave. Not even like 10 minutes after she leave, now you can fight again with horse shit. That's how you rocking. That's how you coming. That's your gangster.
Hey y'all, this is your girl Freedom and welcome to my channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. And you already know, period is one of your favorite baddies to baddies.
Shut up! Fuck out of here! Bitch, I had 7 wigs ripped! Fuck you talking about?
For you and this is Baddies! Welcome to Baddies! Bitch!
Y'all finna piss me the fuck off! Give me my shit now!
Lex is mad about her wig. Yes, bitch, I'll be mad too.
Come on, you come on! Look at you! You don't even know how to wear. Shut up! Get the fuck out my face, bitch!
Hey y'all, it's been a while and welcome to my channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we're already back with another episode of Baddies Africa. Check it out. So we're already starting off with what we left off with last week. And now we have Fauna versus Summer None Other, okay? Who do you feel won this fight? Now, Fauna definitely was like, listen, I was tired of you talking ish now with Natalie co-signing you and you wasn't being neutral, so now what's up? So they squabbled up. And I feel like it was basically kind of like a tie. But like I said, Summer been holding her own in my personal opinion. So what do y'all think about the fight? It was definitely needed. It was definitely necessary. Fauna stood on business. Summer was like, basically, bitch, like, you already started with me because y'all started with Lex. And after you started with Lex, it was crazy. But, you know, Fauna was rocking Summer though. And she said as soon as she healed up, she did with Fauna. But Fauna is going to get in the field. And I feel like I can't wait to see that fight for round 2, y'all. So Fauna was basically saying to Summer, like, to Big Lex, you was popping shit in the mic. So that's why I threw the mic and snatched it from you. Just like how Bad Dolly snatched it from my friend, Kate Rican. And so it's up. And if it was the popping shit, the fan would have gotten thrown. And if the fan didn't get thrown, then the drink would have gotten thrown. So, but in the midst of that, right? Summer over here just popping it or whatever, and she throws a drink at Fauna and ends up hitting Choco and I. Okay, so Choco is over here. She was already sick from like 2 episodes ago. She said she wasn't really feeling well, and then like she got the drink thrown on her face. But the thing is, like, Choco has not been chocoing. I feel like her, just like all the other girls, didn't expect to like have certain people that they fought up and went up against and lost or whatever. So it was like a thing. But this is like the flashback of what happened at the club. And they was going back and forth. And this is where we see Lex get the mic snatched from her. And rightfully so. Like, I just feel like that's what I love about Fauna. Like, Fauna's not scary. And like I said, like when everybody else was doing it, it wasn't a problem, right? So I just feel like if everybody's doing it, then everybody should be cool with doing it and disrespecting everybody, okay? But my whole thing is that where is this energy? Like, Ivory called you out for the fade Dolly back to back to back. You ain't say nothing. You say you're not going to miss her. You ain't going to do nothing that in last week's episode. But for some reason, this week's episode, now that she left for 10 minutes, like they all said and clocked your tea, you definitely got a lot to say. And I thought that was so crazy. You feel me? Like, Dolly hand was not messed up to fight Cold Killer, knowing that she's smaller. But when you said that you need all your hands for this big back, big that for Ivory, I just don't get it when she asked you to square up. You say you needed a heel. That was wild work. So you definitely pick and choose. You definitely know who you're going to pick on, who you're going to bully on. And that was really, really corny. And I was glad that Rolly actually called out Dolly because she was like, Dolly, you shouldn't really be saying nothing because you're injured reserve. So you talking about, oh, you're getting the field. When Ivory was asking you for real, you was not getting into the field. You feel me? So it was definitely whack. And if I ain't gonna hold you, the way that Lex is like running up on people and she just saying what she want to say, do she want to do, with no disrespect. I don't know, because like the alcohol or whatever the case may be. I normally don't go for jumping, but you're leading it up to that because it's like, girl, you too big to be like, one person can't take you. 2 people got to take you. Like, 2 people got to take you, which is a good thing towards you because you can fight. But before you was like, I'm anti-bully, but then you're on the show bullying. And it's crazy. Yes, Scotty is talking to you, whatever the case is, but the fact that you got so much animosity towards when Scotty is talking is weird. Like, I would just be laughing at that at this point. But you really taking it seriously. So it's like, I don't know where that's coming from or whatever the case may be. But Scotty's basically drunk or whatever too. And she like, but you look stupid. But you look stupid. What the fuck? What the fuck? You want to fight me? And it is just so funny. My whole thing is that if Lex don't like Fauna, why did she ask Fauna about her chain, where her chain at? Because the last time that you act like that and you was all cool about her chain with Tavy, you definitely was the first one that bullied her and took Tavy's chain. So Lex, what's going on with you this season, baby girl? So Natalie was like, basically like, you can't snatch the mic and do that in the club no more because you want to get them mad. Everybody trying to hold her accountable, but she was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't get mad. I wouldn't get mad. And then Lex was like, maybe I would get mad. Yeah, bitch, you would have got mad because you got mad at the club when Fonda said something back on the mic. So we know you would have got mad depending on who you was talking to. And even the fact that you switched up so quick and you was like, line it up, line it up. Why was that even such a hype song to you when you never had an issue with Diamond, which was interrupting her song? And then on top of that, like, you just never gave that energy. You feel me? So I just feel like you better tread lightly, little bully. You better tread lightly. You know what I'm saying? Because you just switched up your whole storyline. You said you didn't like bully, so that's why you was talking about I forgot the other girl from the season that was with Blueface sister or whatever. You was sitting here saying a whole bunch of stuff. And then like it was really weird that you was asking Fauna about a chain because it was really giving like maybe you was asking so you could jump her or whatever. I don't know, or snatch it, or you was having the opportunity. But it's like, why would she take that opportunity? Fonda's smart. She was an ex-police officer. If I was her, and I see how these girls act, taking Tavy chain off of a bus, that you just hugged the same girl saying that you was cool with her. Tavy was even damn near kissing your ass for real, trying to be a friend for real. So for you to even sit there and do that with her, put your hand in her face and all the other stuff, you caring too much about this chain is crazy. So when Scotty was asking her, like, why did you ask her or care about the chain? And she couldn't really give a reason. It was really to me like, okay, Lex would have snatched it, and that is wild because I just never expected from Lex for real. So they're on the field, and then they keep on Rolly and Allie basically kept reiterating, like, listen, if y'all want to squash it, I'm going to squash it. Like, what's up? Are we going to get in the field or we're not going to get in the field? Then even Dolly said something about it. And then Fauna was like, basically, like, what makes you a baddie, bitch? Because is it because you think that you could just fight? Because that's all you could do is just fight. Like, and that doesn't make anybody a baddie. But who do you think won versus Scotty? I mean, Fauna versus Big Lex. Now, definitely, they felt in horse manure. And then Summer tried to run up. So then K. Rika came in and it snatched Summer's wig off. So it was just like everybody was whooping everybody. No, actually, I think K. Rika snatched Lex's wig off. And she was like, nah, we're not about to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then they snatched her wig, but at least she got her wig and her wig was dangling. So yeah, it at this point, it to me is just giving like there's gonna be a lot of jumping and everything else at the rest of the season because there's too many strong people on Lex's and Lex Dolly and Summer are strong fighters. Summer is getting there for real. I ain't gonna hold you. This whole season she been gagging me. But the craziest thing from this whole episode, because the whole thing is that, like what Fonda said, I think is valid point. She's basically saying that, like, when we in the club and stuff like that, like, I don't really associate with you. I don't talk to you. I don't really F with you at all. So it's like, when we fight, we fight. When we square up, kind of deduct the fade. But why do I have to fight every day? And why is it that you're trying to pick something with me just to have a storyline, basically? Because at this point, I know that I'm avoiding you 2 degrees so that we can still have peace at least at the club so we can still do our bookings, which is like professional. And I get where she was coming from because that's what she started off with. She said, there's only but so much I could take. And she said, I couldn't take no more. So I just got up and I just said, mink, 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 mink. And it was up with everybody. But Dolly was really sitting here instigating. And I was like, Dolly, you had so much to say. But when you had your hand effed up for these last 2 days or few days or whatever the case is, since you over here, like, Cole Killer called you out, and she was absolutely right. You PC up in this bitch. You was sitting here protective custody the whole damn time, and then all of a sudden when we leave, oh yeah, I have a feeling she gonna. And literally, as soon as Ivory leave, now it's like, oh yeah, I got the hands to fight. Don't spare me. What was that same energy to say? Don't spare me from Ivory when Ivory called you out? Like, I'm really like, God dang, like they picking and choosing. And Dolly, like, I really wanted to like Dolly for real. I really did like her when I first So when she first was during the auditions, I was like, I was rooting for her, like I was rooting for DTB. And then even then they had that little bonding moment too when they both fought Taseki. And then she didn't even rock out with Diamond like I thought she would have, like, which I kind of wanted. And then on top of that, then it was like it just kept giving hater and downhill ever since. You feel me? And Tavy Baby basically is like, listen, this is my birthday coming up. I gotta celebrate. I gotta be a bad bitch. I can't be a bad bitch with a black guy. I can't be the baddest the baddest. And I'm about to get effed up by Lex every time. Okay. So we're just gonna put this on hold. But Lex, like I said, I ain't mad that you popping it because you should have. But like when Taseki and everybody else was on there, and Taseki, even though she was the heaviest hitter on the seasons that she was on, she never was really bullying people. I just feel like it's really crazy because even when her sister tried to make her bully somebody, she didn't even do it. She stood 10 toes down on her own principles. So it's like nobody's not gonna make me do damage. So like like my whole thing is like with the jumping and stuff like that. Like how you jumping somebody that's smaller than you? How you jumping somebody that you say you have respect for? How you jumping like certain things is like the girls is picking and choosing for real. And then at the end of the day too, like they also be getting along for real. You know what I'm saying? As they should, because it's a business, you know what I'm saying? It's entertainment. So we're definitely entertained, but I definitely feel like I ain't mad at Tavy for sitting here saying that basically like I just want to sit this down. I just want to be cute. I'm tired of fighting, put the shades on, and we're just not about to do this or whatever. But this whole team meeting with Natalie Nunn, everybody calling everybody out, you already know how it's gonna go. And Diamond the Body is basically telling Natalie to like, I know you. I'm gonna make the decision for you. I don't like you. You don't like me. You not fucking with me. I don't like you. You said that you thought that I was. You said that nobody could f with you, bitch. Even on my worst day, even my best day, even never felt that way. I'm never gonna tell you that. Like Diamond is very humble. She don't really talk like that about people that she care about or anything in general. I never really seen her be tit for tat. Like she mean what she say. She do what she mean. She a boss, baddie. She go about her business. So she was like, Natalie, I don't like you, and I'm gonna keep it real. And I fuck with that because if that was me, I would do the same thing. I would have been like, oh well, I don't like you either. I don't like you either. But Lex, man, this episode was so freaking crazy. So let's get into the manure of things. And I ain't gonna hold you. The whole thing, these girls was rolling around in horse-ish, okay? Horse-ish. Wild crazy. So you already know that third week she didn't have her right back. So she's like, F wrong with you, how? F wrong with you, how? And the fight was definitely crazy. Lex was definitely getting the best of Fauna, but Fauna always stand 10 toes down, and that's what we care about, okay? We care about the baddies of baddies. And fighting does not mean that you are a baddie. It is how you conduct and carry yourself outside of just fighting, but definitely you got to have hands. But she do got hands. They got hands. But Lex is doing her big one this season, and we're going to give it to Lex as well. Yes. And I'm definitely with Diamond on this one. See, like, I know I am the ish, but I do not want the ish on me. And it was crazy. Like, anybody that been around horses know, like, that joint smells crazy. Like, living in New York City, and they have, like, the horse and buggies, like, yeah. So we already know that sprinter was smelling like a whole bunch of bobble, I don't know, foot, hands, feet, child. So the craziest shit happens. No pun intended. Dolly literally takes up horse manure and throw it into Cold Killer face. And this joint was crazy. I ain't gonna even hold you. Like, I'm like, it would have been up. After that, it's like if everybody whooping everybody and spitting everything like that. But if it's up, if you think that I'm the ish and you can really throw that on me, nah, that's worse than spitting on somebody in my opinion. It's up. You want to have to get this too. You feel me? So Cold Killer, you already know how she do it. And I had just so much respect for Cold Killer. I feel like if anything, Cold Killer definitely needs to change. Since the first episode, Cold Killer was popping it off, hopping in for friends, doing stuff like always fighting, always squabbling up, never duck smoke, never duck a fade. Baddie the baddies, always dressed up, just beautiful. So she deserved a change. You feel what I'm saying? But she definitely did get stolen on. She wasn't lying. That was crazy because she was minding her business. She didn't even do nothing this episode. I was like, God damn. Like, girl, they just really came up on you and threw shit in your face. And you just see everybody just like, what the hell? And then I started getting everybody else to do those shit. Like Summer, and it was wild. My whole thing is that you never would have did that if Ivory was still there, because my whole thing is she said you was PC'd up. She been said that episodes ago, but when Ivory asked for that fade right then and there, right before she left, you said nah, you good because you needed to heal, but you got enough energy to take that horse maneuver, throw it in somebody's face, and then squabble up and fight him. That's crazy. And the smaller person in the house, somebody that you know that you feel like you could take on for real, and that you really did beat them. Probably like I think maybe episode 2 or 3 or whatever when it was in the house and you gave her the eye. That's crazy. I can't. There's no respect or whatever the case is. LCK, Russian Cream, everybody else kind of was like outside of that. But like even then, I want to see like my whole thing is that Choco the whole entire time was basically calling out Faye, saying that I need that, you disrespected me, you snuck me. So when she got that drink thrown on her, one day she's gonna call out Summer during the reunion. We're gonna see that. But basically, Summer's over here calling out a Faye, basically saying that, oh, K Rican, you said that you snuck me, you said that came up, so let's go. And so she gets the smart idea to take horseman over and threw it at K Rican. It throws K Rican off. K Rican is over here with the tweaking, so Summer is not on her shit up. Summer gave her I think she blooded her head, and she had blood coming out her head. And then this gets to the whole, instead of the food fight, now it's just horse fight. I just didn't get that. So now everybody just throwing horse crap on everybody, y'all. It's up. Um, so who do you think won Summer versus K Rican? I definitely will give it a two Summer, but it was definitely obviously to me an unfair disadvantage because what nobody normally would get any horseman who was thrown in their face. It would throw anybody off because it's like my mouth could have been open. You could have caught me over here choking on it. I'm like, girl, I got horseman in my mouth, so now I'm off. Like also, that was very effed up. Scotty was just trying to warn Summer not to step in it, and she throws it. Natalie runs, Scotty runs, everybody run. Shit thrown everywhere. And Scotty was like, why would you do that? You nasty bitch. Like, and I just thought that was so freaking funny. She's like, Summer, stop. No, Summer, no. Man, that is so funny. Out of all people, you telling to stop. You telling Summer to stop? Child, please. Summer did not stop. She just kept throwing it everywhere. She was like, yo, it's a baddie party. You cannot get in. So everybody not getting in. Everybody's turned up. Everybody throwing issue on everybody. And it was so crazy. Scotty's like, listen, I am too demure, too professional for this, okay? And it is so freaking funny. Like, everybody and mama was running, and I would have been running too. Cold Killer mad. And you know how she get, like, like, oh, my mama, so it's up. So she over here, she picks up Ish, and she has it in her hand, and she goes and she chases them as they run in. Security trying to stop her from doing stuff, and it's like, where was that energy when she was getting jumped though? Like I didn't get that. Like no, they was just jumping on me. You ain't stopping. So no, I'm taking this maneuver and I'm throwing it in their face. So she over here making sure that she got the perfect game, and you see security trying to stop her, but she does a big one. She throws it in their face, as she should, since everybody else is doing it, I guess. But it couldn't be me. I couldn't even pick that joint up. That joint stink. It's crazy. Everybody over here just got beautiful outfits and stuff just to be throwing issues wild. But they should be on Baddies going wild at this point. You feel me? And Cold Killer, she's so petty. She like, oh, F it. This is why y'all really mad. Don't pick it up like that. Were you effing Dolly? Where were you effing Dolly? PC wrecking this bitch. PC wrecking this bitch. Dolly violated Cold Killer for real. I can't even believe you. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do you think that this was a great episode? This episode was definitely had some funny moments, but it was wild, disrespectful, obviously. And so, you know, Scotty basically telling Cold Killer not to like stoop down low, but she did. She stooped to hell. Since you stooped down, she was like, listen, I'm going down with you, bitch. It is up. And so now we got Kate Rican versus Summer round 2. Who do you think won? Definitely Summer. I think she got that too, or whatever the case may be. But let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. But I'm gonna have to keep it so freaking for real. It is so crazy how Dolly is scary. Like, I never really thought Dolly would be as scary as, you know, girl. I just didn't get that from her for real. But it's like you really are afraid of Big Ivory. You know what I'm saying? And so it's so crazy. We got all of this energy to be sitting here fighting Cold Killer. Like you already know that you could have whipped her for real. At this point, I think that is like, yeah, like we're definitely picking and choosing. It's like you got all this energy just to throw a horse manure. Like Cool. Like, I don't get how that's bad behavior. And you're talking about you from the country. Even country people ain't. I don't know if that's what y'all do in the country, child. Put me back into New York City, goddamn. It's that I'd rather that and be with the rats. Okay. Um. But yeah, I was just like, I did not get where all of that even came from. I could understood that she gave her a fair warning, but to even sneak her with it was crazy work. And so in the midst of that, everybody snatched everybody wig or whatever the case is. And I guess this was karma for Big Lex because when you took Tavy's wig and threw it into the fire, you were sitting here smirking and stuff. So I guess like they took your $1,200 wig, supposedly, ripped it, which was Scotty, by the way. And then you try to fight everybody else, and then and everybody over here telling you that they didn't do it, but you was over here crying. Like, it's crazy how you sat there and broke down over that, and then you sat there and got your chain, your Big Lex chain. I couldn't even do it, girl. I couldn't even do it because if that's the case, girl, you had to do it like Dolly said. Dolly said, "I got my wigs from Amazon, girl." I don't know why you got a $1,200 wig. Thought that nobody's going to mess with you. Now that would have been different if you was cool with everybody, but you wasn't cool with everybody. You wasn't neutral, so you should have known that, especially because you said you wanted to fight. You should have took the wig off. So, you got the big three and everything like that. Elsie over here kissing ass as usual. That's why I really don't like you. And then we got Cold Killer over here saying I ain't got no respect. That's why you still ain't get your chain. That's why you still not a baddie. And I agree because at that point it's crazy. Lex is laughing, bullying. And then everybody's up. But it is crazy how Dolly got called out by Fauna, by Cold Killer, by everybody saying that, oh yeah, when your biggest competition called you out to fight, you couldn't do it, but you fought me. And everybody knew that, and it's so wild, man. I still can't have no respect. I keep saying over and over, but that is just that Dolly, I expected more. And of course, Cold Killer is doing her thing, talking smack, whatever case is that she should. And everybody got shit everywhere. And so she did get Dolly back, so that's why LCK is cleaning her up. And she go ahead and she takes the ice water that was for their drinks and put it all over their face. Summer Lila, she got one of her braids like it's starting to bald and stuff like that. Cold Killer, even with the bald cap, the bodysuit, and the chain, she look good. Actually, everybody look good. Actually, everybody whipping everybody, and it's a and it was very interesting seeing Big Lex like having to break down. I didn't like to see her like that. But it's like at some point, it's like this is how you make everybody else feel. So it's kind of like now it's like, and then it's so crazy because it's like now Scotty definitely did jump into the whole argument between her and Lex or whatever the case was. But I thought that it was crazy that Lex got this whole thing with trying to fight Tavy when Tavy wasn't even doing nothing. So it's like once again, it's like you're bullying, girl, because you know that you could fight. She fought you 7 rounds. Yeah, she could have lost 7 rounds, but like how many times you gonna fight me? And then she said it was her birthday, and then she already called you out at the fire. So then it's like well, Scotty was like, who is she talking to? Now, yeah, you introduce yourself into that because it's like you really was like who you talking to, but it's like at the end of the day, when she said it was us. Scotty has the right to have an opinion, so it's like. And I just it's just crazy because like Lex really became the bully for real. It's just like wow. And she over here like, oh yeah, she talking mad smack. Oh yeah, I want to fight. I want to do this. And they're like, listen, let's go on a sprinter. Let's do this. And everybody was like, Tavy, the reason Fauna was like, the reason why they really mad was because you won that last fight up against her. And she got to try to prove her big one or whatever the case is. But we all got, so it was interesting. And like I said, it's like the big three is making the girls form bonds and alliances because they keep on talking mad smack for no reason. And my whole thing is that like when y'all sat there and stole people's chains that they worked for, when y'all did all of that stuff, it wasn't no cool. Everybody was crying. You ain't do nothing. But now all of a sudden you want people to cry about your wig. I can't respect that, Lex. Like you gotta be fair. You gotta call it. Come on, come on, girl. And you like you. Yes, Scotty. Yes, Scotty. And Scotty is just playing her like, okay, whatever, girl, with all your dramatics. Like, even though I get it, Scott, at this point, Lex, you could have just ran up and been like, Scotty, you talked too much shit, should have fought her. You didn't have to wait till the next episode. You could have just did it right then and there. But now it's looking like I said, it's like a form of a bullying because it's like you waited like, you want to wait till the Don Julio make you act a Julio to then want to get Buck up to fight me, bitch. You could have fought me when I said what I needed to say right then and there. And then I love Tavy. Tavy's like, you can't break me. You can't make my soul. You can't do nothing. Marissa start talking ish because she don't want to sit there and fight. As she should. And she already got, whatever, scratched up and beat up by Summer. And it is a rough environment because at the end of the day, like, they didn't try Akbar like that or whatever the case is. But I think Scotty, she got like, she bold because, She won the first fight. I guess, the fans online, everybody said that she won. Or the fact that they proud of Scotty for doing her big one. And so like Scotty, she got more liquid courage. So she like, listen, what up? Talking more crap. But child, who do you think is gonna win between Scotty versus Lex? I just think that Scotty was drunk or whatever. So she just took whatever. But yeah, it's crazy. Between the fighting, the maneuver, the Zeus, the security, y'all need to raise. I said it, y'all need to raise. Child.
Country girl, bitch. Bitch is shit.
Shitty ass house.
No,
Girl,
y'all
you
shitty.
shitty ass house. Talking about you, come on. Look at you. You don't even know how to wear. Shut up. Get the fuck out my face, bitch. Anything that I do, anything.
Lex is like, no, who is snatching it? So she over here seeing the girls fighting, and Scotty is the wig ripper. Okay, she did it to Emma. Now she did it to Lex, and actually Tavia, I think, was trying to save her wig, actually, which is crazy. But like I said, it's up. But now she want to sit there and cry. But it's like. And then you call everybody out. That's lame. Like, no, fight the girl that ripped your wig. Don't sit there and try to call everybody out for smoke. That's because you. Now it's different if it was a heavy hitter or whatever the case is. But you even call out Taseki when she moved to change the names with you and Big Bat, Ivory, and all the other stuff. You picking and choosing, and then you only pick on the girls that you think that you could fight. Because for real, none of y'all was really all scared of Taseki for real. That's why we need Taseki back. And so now the girls are there on the sprint or whatever the case is, and they're sitting here talking about what happened on the field, and then she having a mental breakdown, sitting here crying, and they're over here like, wow, she really over here mad about her wig. And then yeah, look at Russia Cream, everybody looking at her like, girl, you crazy about this wig or whatever the case is. After all that stuff that you did to Tavy and everybody else wig the 2 episodes ago, I really didn't understand it. I don't care if it's $1,200. You ain't know how much Tavy paid for her wig, but you ain't care. So I just feel like she is up, girl. Now Scotty was talking a whole bunch of mess on that sprinter, so she definitely got to get that. Okay, but she's starting to tweak. Everybody over here like, what the hell? And Kid Tavy, everybody like, you got a tantrum. Oh yeah, like a 2-year-old. Oh yeah, they hear us saying this and over that in the sprinter. And that joint is funny as hell because like you really threw a Balenciaga shoe in the fire, and on top of that, you threw a wig. Like, girl, at this point, Lex, I mean, girl, you know that you deserve it. Okay. And Lex was saying that she tried to respect people's stuff as much as she can, but my whole thing is that when Tavy lost her wig in the fire, you didn't do that. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And like Tavy said, everybody else said that I lost stuff, and you know what I'm saying, I ain't crying. So it is what it is. And then you got Rolly over here basically like, oh, I don't know what's going on this season. I don't know what's going on this season either. It's like, god dang, like the trio versus the clique versus the fighting versus the fighting. And then Bad Dolly got all that to say, but she ain't say all that to Rolly. And that goes into what LCK said: win, lose, or draw, I still get into the field, even though Dolly was like, just not too long ago, like basically your hands need to match. So it's like where your hands was matching with Ivory. It's like I just cannot. Okay, but Scott T, you better tread lightly, girl. Since you want to talk all that smack, you're gonna have to run it in the field. So don't be sitting here running away and whatever. We better see some karate kicks and all that in the pool, okay? And so basically, they all get off the sprinter, and Allie is telling them that they're going to sit there and do some charity work. They're going to sit there and, donate some money, be in the community for a little bit and, do some humanitarian work and stuff like that. And we already see Lex, she already heated. She hot. She like, which one of y'all ripped my wig? Because I wanted from you, and you. So that was Fonda, Tavy. Who else? And it's a... And the whole thing, that one thing that Tavy did say that was on the bus that was crazy was that she said that Dolly and them told her to pick a side. And when she didn't pick a side, that's when they started fighting. And it's like, you're not going to bully me to try to not be friends with somebody who I want to be cool with, regardless. I don't care, win, lose, or draw. It's going to be what it is. And so, F your clique and F all that other stuff. Like, it's all about being real. And that's what I respect about Tavy, a co-killer. And a lot of the girls, because they're not looking for a storyline. I feel like they're just being authentically themselves, and they're like, okay, if something is up, it's up. And even if it was a storyline, it's not even like you feel like it's scripted, because it's kind of basically like, now I rock with who I was rocking with, and we all cool. We all said we wasn't a trio, and then you made us a trio, so now we're a trio. Now we're rocking out, so it's like, it's cool. And the special guest that Natalie said that she's going to be bringing, this is L'Oreal Plumber. Shout out to plumbers, okay? They over here getting all of this stuff during the season, so that's one of the special guests. Natalie said that they will be splitting off into groups during this activity, and she will be with the celebrity guest, and then Dr. Trev was another guest that came in, and he would be doing Summer's teeth and fixing Summer's teeth and stuff like that. So to me, it's very obvious that Natalie really F's with Summer, because Summer really is a Chinian or whatever, really crashed out for Natalie. So that's really what it's coming off as, and that's why K-Rick and everybody call Natalie out, and you don't see Natalie really giving them that kind of energy, because they're not really followers or whatever the case is, or kiss asses, which I'm like that too, because it's like, nah, bitch, you're gonna respect me as a baddie, doing my big one on just because I'm naturally a baddie. And so we got Tommy Lee and Amber Rose finally coming onto the season and everything like that. We got a whole bunch of more squabbles. DTB is supposed to be getting replaced after she said whatever to Natalie, because Natalie's a petty ass bitch, as we already know. And that girl still couldn't be a Diamond, so Diamond ain't going nowhere. I got mad love for Diamond. Diamond, yes, but yes. And Natalie, don't be sitting here taking Tommy's glasses. That is Tommy's, okay? Because I watched Love and Hip Hop, and that's definitely was Tommy's during her Spice video, okay? She was one of the only girls that had it. And whatever girl that is, I don't know if that's Amber Rose's cousin sister, but she got her butt whooped by Diamond, as we can see. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe for more. Peace.